top 10 reasons why your financial expectations are out of whack. And number 10 is you thought you could create wealth without hard work. Guys, this is not one of those deals where you can just add water. And a lot of times it's our fault because during the business presentation, we make it sound so easy, right? It's like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing I've ever had to promote and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes people, they sign up because they hear the word easy. Okay, it's a really, really simple business, but it's not easy. You have to go out there and do the work. That's why they call it network marketing. Okay, it's a work program. It really is a work program. But when I say work, let's break that down just a little bit. How hard are we actually working in this business? You know, what if you did 5 business presentations a week and each one with travel time or whatever, it was 2 hours? Okay, now I guarantee I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here, okay? Because each business presentation is certainly not going to take 2 hours. But let's say you did 5 business presentations a week at 2 hours each. That's 10 weeks. Maybe you trained somebody. You got a new associate started or a couple new associates started, so you spent 3 hours a week training somebody. And then you spent an hour a day just setting appointments. So that's another 7 hours. So that's a total of 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week in building your business. Now, what if everybody in your organization did that? What if everybody did 5 business presentations a week, they did some trainings, and then they set appointments? Man, that takes work, doesn't it? It's not hard work, but it definitely does take work. Number 9, you thought you could work part-time and receive full-time income. Guys, we live in a world of instant gratification. Okay, we live in a world of instant gratification. You know, it's like any other business. This takes time. It really does take time. I mean, if you treat this business like a hobby, you're going to make hobby money. But if you treat it like a business, like a multi-million-dollar business, you can go out there and make multi-millions of dollars. Guys, when I was in college, I had to go through 4 years of education before they would let me have my own classroom as a teacher. It's like, yeah, it takes a little bit of time to build this. I had a guy in my organization one time. This guy's name was Ken. And he'd been in the business for a couple of years. And he was making $500 a month residually. And he was complaining that the business wasn't working. And I said, Ken, what are you talking about? He goes, well, I've been doing this thing for almost 2 years now, and I'm only making $500 a month. I said, Ken, think about what you just said. You're making $500 a month residually, meaning you're not working to get that money. It's just there because people are using the product and service, right? I said, Ken, what kind of asset would you have to have in the bank to generate $6,000 a month or $6,000 a year in income? $500 a month, $6,000 a year. What kind of asset would you have to have in the bank to generate $500 a month? I said, even at 10%, you'd have to have $60,000 cash in the bank to generate $500 a month. And I just looked at him. I said, Ken, what could you have possibly done to save $60,000 in the last almost 2 years? And he goes, nothing. I said, yeah, it's working pretty good, isn't it? It's working pretty good. Number 8, you thought the top income earners became wealthy because of luck and good timing. Guys, when I was the number 19 income earner in my very first company, the 18 people that were in front of me all got into business after I did. I had 18 good reasons to wake up every single morning. Somebody said to Arnold Palmer, you guys know who Arnold Palmer is, the great golfer Arnold Palmer? Arnold was called lucky one day. Somebody called Arnold Palmer lucky. And his response was, yeah, the more practice rounds I play, the luckier I get. Guys, the top income earners got there because they were motivated to do so. remember there are three types of people. People who make things happen, people who watch things happen, and then there are people who wonder, what happened? What happened? Number 7, you thought most of your family would immediately join your business. Guys, sometimes your family members are the toughest to get. Why? Because they know you. They've got a license to beat you up. You know, you go to this one meeting and all of a sudden you're this, health and wealth expert. I remember driving all the way down to, this is when I first got involved in network marketing in August of 1990. And I drove all the way down to Hoopeston, Illinois. It was about a 5-hour drive for me to show my sister what the business was all about. And when I got down there, not only would my sister not become a distributor of mine, she wouldn't even be my customer. She wouldn't even try my product. And I remember driving all the way back to Milwaukee, absolutely hating this business. Couldn't believe that I got suckered into it. And I drove over to my friend's house, and he was my business partner at the time. And I said, this isn't going to work. He goes, what do you mean? I said, how am I supposed to get people that I don't even know when my own sister won't become a customer? And he looked at me and he goes, so what? I said, what do you mean, so what? He goes, who are you going to talk to today? I said, I'm not going to talk to anybody today. I'm going to take my ball and go home, right? Well, let me tell you the reason that I'm in the business today. My business partner, his name is Pat. He kind of just sat back in a chair, threw a pen up on his desk, and he said, there's no way this company's going to pay us $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 a month for it to be laid down easy. And I will never, ever forget that. Guys, this business is simple, okay? It's not easy. It is not easy. Not everybody is going to see it the way that you see it, and especially your family members. It's okay. Next. Number 6, you thought simple was the same as easy. Guys, like I said, it's a very simple business. We only do 2 things. We gather customers and we gather customer getters. That's it. Customers and associates. That's all we do. It's not easy. No, you've got to go out there and do the work. And all you have to do is be persistent. Failure cannot handle persistence. Guys, the one thing that I absolutely positively did right in my 34-year career is that I never quit. I never quit. In football, if you ever watch a NFL football game, the team that has the ball in the last 2 minutes, they expect to score. In fact, 75% of the time, points are scored in the last 2 minutes of a game. Why? Or a half. And it's like, why? It's because teams expect to score. They expect to score. Well, with a positive mental attitude, you can expect to win. But please understand this. Just by thinking positive won't allow you to do anything. But it will allow you to do everything better than negative thinking will. Number 5, you expect every person you sponsor to be a self-starter. Every person that I bring in the business, they are the next number 1 income earners until they prove me wrong. And for some people, guys, it doesn't take very long. For some people, they stop calling you back the second that you enroll them. The 80-20 rule is real. That thing is real. That simply means that if you've got 100 people in your organization, you might have 10 people working, and you might be one of the 10. If you've got 100 people in your organization, 80 of them are going to quit. And if you have 1,000 people in your organization, 800 of them aren't doing anything. But how would you like to have 200 people trying? That's what you guys got to understand. Not everybody's going to be a self-starter. That's okay. They're part of the 80%ers, right? But often, an 80%er will bring you a 20%er. And that's what you're looking for. Number 4, you thought you could work this business alone and not plug into any system. Listen, we all need support. We've got Zoom presentations set up for you guys. We've got trainings that are available to you. Our YouTube channel is packed with trainings. We've got social media pages that you can tie into. I often do accountability groups. People who try to reinvent the wheel, these are the people who struggle. And there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be creative, because you can, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Number 3, you thought the company was giving you money instead of an opportunity. No, the company's giving you an opportunity. What Jay Dollywall does for us is he trades customers for dollars. We give him customers, he gives us dollars. Okay? It is a win-win situation. One of the things that I've heard throughout my entire career is people who say, "Oh, I'm going to quit," or "I'm going to stop working for the company. I'm going to stop doing this." And I think to myself, well, you can stop working the business if you want to, but you can't quit the business, because you don't work for the business. You don't work for Super Patch. You are an independent distributor. And Jay is giving you an opportunity to build something with the technology that he has put together for us. So if you thought the company was giving you money instead of an opportunity, you're wrong. Okay, he's giving you an opportunity. It's up to you to take advantage of that opportunity. And it always makes me laugh when people say, "I'm going to quit. I'm going to resign my position." It's like, resign what? You don't even work for the company. You can't resign from something that you don't work for. This is your opportunity to do what you want with it. Number 2, you thought you could build a business without leaving your comfort zone. How many times have you guys heard me talk about comfort zone? Everything you want is outside your comfort zone. And, it's not comfortable there. Everything you want is outside your comfort zone. And so you're going to have to step outside that zone if you're going to grow. So don't feel bad about stepping out of that comfort zone when you have that sick feeling in your stomach. Get excited about that, because you're doing something today that you don't normally do, because you're trying to achieve something that you don't already have. And listen, doing something long enough becomes your comfort zone. That becomes your new normal. Guys, when I was terrified to speak in front of people. I took speech my senior year in high school, and I took speech my senior year in college. And I went on to become a school teacher. How ridiculous is that? And now I think I speak for a living today. That has become my new normal, but the rewards are there. Okay? And number 1, the top 10 reasons your financial expectations are out of whack. Number 1, you thought no pain, no gain only applied in the weight room. Guys, you will pay a price. You will pay a price. Everybody says that you pay a price for success. It's like, no, you don't. You pay a price for failure. That's the price you pay. I in my career, I've been stood up thousands of times. I remember I was doing a meeting in a little town called Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I had to go to school that day. I think this might have been on maybe a Wednesday night. I left that school building at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I drove up to Eau Claire because the meeting started at 7 or 7:30. And when I got up to Eau Claire, nobody showed up for the meeting. Nobody. Not even the person I was doing the meeting for decided that they could show up. And so I drove all the way back to my house, and when I pulled in the subdivision, my light was the only light left on. And I thought to myself, either you are a complete idiot or you are a genius. And I found out later that it's the latter. When everybody's going one way, you go the other way, and you can make millions of dollars. You guys, all the broken glass and barbed wire that you have to crawl over to get to where you want, to where you want to be, it's so worth it. To me, when I got involved in this business, it just made so much sense to be busier than, busy for 3 to 5 years to not have to do a blasted thing the rest of my life. And when I got to that point, when money wasn't an issue in my life anymore, I thought to myself, okay, now what am I going to do? Because I think the word retirement means go die somewhere. You have to go do something. And so I stayed in the industry, and I continued to build in the industry, and I continued to help other people build in the industry. So make sure, you guys, that your financial expectations are in line with what you want to achieve.